How? I mean, don't get me wrong, I commend her, but how?
There's no way she's actually testing each of these keys out before she throws them away that quickly.
So now we just need to swing the arm around to meet that one.
Right, I think this shows us. Ready?
They're using a YouTube tutorial. How have they got time to do this? They've just learned how to operate a crane for a YouTube video in seconds.
Okay.
How did he short circuit theirs then?
It was bad camera
It was not that close. It was not that close.
It was not.
You could kill him now. No, you can't. You can't make that jump. He could have made the jump because that was higher. You can't do it. No, you can't make that jump. This is... You're gonna die. You can't do it. No! It was... What?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, getting their name wrong is, it's really funny.
Wait, how did he only get that far?
Let him go!
Yeah, but
He zipped across before.
doesn't he win just by walking up to her and poking her?
Why did he take his mask off? What practical purpose does he have for taking his mask off right now?
The recall from the pod you travelled in, I took it out. Without this, you can't get home. Yeah, see? Now you're worried.
Wait, that was inside the pod thing from beforehand, but he went over to it, and he didn't notice that before.
But he knows he needs it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My ow, 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 ow.
And also, the pod has been ripped in part and partially destroyed.
Chambers on the cusp between life and death. They're not important.
Hey, I'm important.
Yes, you are.
Stop you. Because we're all capable of the most incredible change. We can evolve while still staying true to who we are. We can honor who we've been and choose who we want to be next. Now's your chance. How about it?
Okay, yeah, this speech has made me hate the rest of this season even more.
The Doctors never had the choice of how they looked. Regeneration is more of a thematic thing.
Yeah, it's like they have like preferences, but they don't choose until the new one.
Sorting out fair play throughout the universe. Now,
This is not a resolution of your character. You have not been formed yet. You're still just a baby.
Choose to win.
I was gonna say, what exactly does he lose by just detonating the bombs?
sorry.
Absolutely
I removed those
nothing.
nasty little things from my friends.
When did that happen?
Suicide, and I implanted them back in your creature.
What the fuck?
Transference wasn't just you had a choice. You did this to yourself.
No, he didn't. No. So, she knew he'd detonate the bombs, right? So, decided it would be in her best interest to kill him.
And then she shuns the guy and says she
Yeah.
had no right to do that.
Her first thought was, oh, I'll just kill him. Yeah, again, I've known this character for a few scenes, and she's not spoken in most of the scenes she was in, so I don't particularly care.
I'm pretty sure that a drop from that height, she still wouldn't be conscious as well. Her head's just hit the back of concrete.
Yeah, the back of your head is like the weakest point. Like, if you hit that, you're done. It's that simple. This was so easily preventable. Call the police, call unit, call fucking someone. No, I don't feel sad at all.
So today I want to talk about the greatest woman I ever met. Smart, funny, caring.
I still love the fact that it's 2 dislikes.
Fine, Nan.
So that means two people hated his nan so much.
She died like she lived. trying to help other people.
Falling on her back.
Falling on her back, the lazy ass.
And to
He's trying to ride a bike out of guilt now. This has changed from being, like, shamed into it
This is
to, like,
this is ghost gaslighting.
3, 2.
It is. It really is.
It's like when people
Look.
go, it's tradition. You mean peer pressure from dead people?
I'm watching a Mr. Men sketch. That's exactly what this is at the moment. Mr. Men just keeps falling over and over and over. And the doctor's just watching this happen.
Okay, 10 points if she just goes, just a little giggle. Go on, give it.
Nah, it's not worth it. Implants the DNA bomb back into Ryan. This is the most, like, empathetic the Doctor is in the entirety of her run. She's actually trying to comfort him. That's surprisingly alien for this character.
So I can't stand.
Oh, I don't like this church. That feels weird. That layout. I've seen this church before. What else has been shot in here?
Her first husband, but
Something involving a cult.
she said
Wouldn't people have asked how she died?
the grace that showed me life.
Nah.
what to offer.
Nah, 2 dislikes.
Had 3
Why is she at the funeral?
Oh, yeah, what? Wait, how? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Have you got family? No. Lost them a long time ago.
Gallifrey's literally back.
Yeah.
I know she's referred to her companions from the previous eras, though,
Said
but...
and done, make them a part of who I am. So even though they're
But she can go and see them at any point. Just
Yeah,
not
that's a pretty
Rose.
harsh... It's a pretty harsh thing to say about Martha, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a traveller without a ship.
Oh, if only you had, like, Unit to help you with that.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
you
say
can't, yes.
Unit would have found the Doctor by now.
That's what you're going with. Yep.
I'll be honest, without the coat and just like the jumper and stuff, I feel like it would be a more iconic look. I just don't like the coat.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's just that I think that's too dull. The colours for me. Just
That's what I
don't do
mean.
it.
Like, I feel like you remove that coat, right? The big grey coat, make it a long sleeve jumper, like the same
Yeah.
thing but long sleeve, right? And then that's like a look because you have like the navy blue with like the yellow tints on it.
Yeah, I feel like that.
My ship uses a particular
I could think of like the practicalities for all the coats that came beforehand. That looks like it'll be a bit of a hindrance. Oh, so she's making a teleporter with all the stuff she could find in a warehouse.
139 layers.
Yep.
7 of which don't make sense.
There are 6 cans of Carling in the French to her side as well.
The only way I could see this working if there was any Dalek scraps left over from the invasion. Which again, everyone seems to forget
Unit.
about.
Come on.
Unit would have snagged them.
Yep.
It should
Oh, I remember how this goes.
Please blow up. Please blow up and kill them all.
work. Wish me luck.
Well, they should be dead after this. It's pretty horrendous.
Oh, is this going to be like some weird transition?
It's really bad. It's like they should not be able to survive this. Wait for it.
Oh, do they end up in space?
Maybe.
Oh, they're dead.
They're just straight up just dead.
No, hold on. How close are they to the TARDIS? Because I know it does have that like 30-foot force field thing around it. I do remember that.
Ryan is the only one that's choking.
No, it's nowhere near it. Why? They're dead. I'm not a fan of this time vortex in the background. I don't like it.
So, promising start, yeah? It's gonna get better from here, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't. How do I put this? It wasn't horrible to watch.
It's not the worst episode from that point prior.
Yeah. But I can again. Like I said nearer the beginning of it when I said so far, but now I've gotten to the end. I feel like I can like give a proper like conclusion to my thoughts on it.
That's how a lot of these episodes feel. You like need a beat afterwards to properly digest what you've just seen.
Yeah, it's like, how do I put it? I feel like it's just weird because Eccleston's opening was really iconic. Tennant's was iconic. Matt Smith's was iconic. Capaldi's was pretty iconic. It's a goddamn T-Rex.
I liked Capaldi's quite a bit. The T-Rex is a bit questionable, but in terms of characterizing the Doctor, I like that quite a lot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Um,
It was basically an episode of them going, Doctor, wake up, and he was going, what's the issue? There's a T-Rex. He went, a T-Rex isn't an issue, and just go back to sleep. There we go.
yeah.
But this one, I feel like each one of those episodes were introductions to the character again.
Yes.
I don't understand what this was.
Yeah, 100%. Even in the episodes where the Doctor was still trying to readjust, that was generally the point of the episodes. You were still following the character of the Doctor as they were finding themselves. One of my favorite scenes, from Doctor Who history is David Tennant coming out the TARDIS for the first coming out the TARDIS on the Sycorax ship, and he's expositing. He's saying, "Who am I? Am I witty? Am I funny? Am I sexy? Am I cheeky?" Yes, that's expository, but through the way he's saying it, characterizes him. He's
And
having a
also,
laugh.
he's not just listing off what's happening in the episode. He's saying, right, who am I? Not what's going on.
Yes,
Because
and
he's smart enough to know what's going on. He just doesn't know who he is.
yeah, he's legitimately, like, you're learning about his character as he is, like, monologuing, but he's monologuing for a laugh. The line where he goes, "And how am I going to react when I when I see this? A great big red button, oh, a great big red threatening button," or something along those lines. And it's like,
Another great
we
line from that
know,
episode is when he wakes up and it's Jackie in the room instead of Rose, and he goes, "How long was I asleep?"
yes. And to be fair, as I said, like, I don't think that the Doctor is, like, destroyed in this episode. I just don't
No,
think
like
she's
that's what I mean.
characterized.
This episode was very. It. I'd say this is like a 4 out of 10. It's
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
it's not catastrophic, but these episodes do get catastrophic in terms of, like, how reality works and how characters should behave.
Yeah, but that's the
Um,
thing. I'm glad you compared the sicker acts, right? Because
yeah,
David Tennant's first thought with them was to show them he's not to be messed with and tell them to. He then. This is what I said the other day as well. The reason I really like David Tennant's Doctor is when he wins, he gives them a choice. He's like, you can either keep fighting and I will kill you out of obligation, so, or you can run
and
away and we never speak of them.
even when he does that, there is still a process where he gives him every single
That's what
chance
I mean.
possible.
Like, yeah, you
And
have to think of. I forget what they're called, but you know, the family. You know who I mean when I
yes,
say the family.
the yeah,
He literally he knew what he was going to do to them, so he purposely wiped his own memory so he wouldn't hurt them.
yeah. That's a large part of that. It's mental because this Doctor, okay, you can argue she gives. His name is Zim Shah, and the Doctor says, "Oh, Tim Shaw," and that's the running gag for that monstrosity. But she gives him two chances, and I wouldn't say that they're fair chances of that. She basically says, "Okay, if you don't step away from him, I am going to drop your only way back home."
Yep. And I wouldn't even call
Uh,
them chances because, like, for them to be a chance, that implies he knows what's going on. He didn't know the bombs were in him.
yeah,
Like, if she had said that, and it's like, I literally have all the cards here. What can
he
you
would have
do?
stopped.
Yeah,
I believe. Well, I mean, okay, granted, we don't have, like, a proper characterization. We don't have anyone characterized. The closest we get to in this episode is Yaz is a police officer who's very confused about a career path, but she's not confident enough to call the police in a moment where the police would be vitally... In fact, she's an idiot. Once again, people tend to keep track of trains.
That train is still there, by the way.
Yeah, and they would have all been questioned. They would have been locked up if that then unit would have gotten to them at some point. Ryan, his only characterization so far is that he misses his nan and he's got dyspraxia. I wouldn't even call that a characterization.
And also, he's very angry. But
he's
only
very angry.
He's very angry when things do not go his way, which is not very good for a character that you want in stressful situations. Because it's gonna be entertaining for an episode or two, and then it's gonna get annoying, and it's gonna get annoying fast. I can already see it happening.
Graham is extremely abusive towards Ryan, and no one brings it up.
I noticed that. It's like, what the fuck?
Legitimately saying the line, "Oh, I bet you're gonna blame your dyspraxia on that too," is like, that is terrible. I think, oddly enough, the character which I empathized with most out of like the entire lot is I can't remember her name. The Nan.
I was just calling her the Nan because I think her name was said
Grace,
3 times.
That was it. It was Grace, yeah. She doesn't. Okay, she reacts weirdly when they're on the train and she's flirting with Graham. Like no one talks like that. I don't care who you are. No one talks like that. But
It was really. Here's the thing, right? You can't have a scene like that having someone basically say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a go at him when I get home." Right? You know that, right? And then during their death scene, not show blood because it's a family show. It's a family show. You just
crack their head against concrete.
It's just like half an hour earlier, you had this same woman who is now dead talking about how she wanted some, some alone time, with her husband. But literally, it could have just been some speckles of blood just to show what had happened. But no, nothing.
We also have what's his name, the brother. Somehow he was tracking it's not explained, but somehow he was tracking the giant onion thing. Like, he actively
that made no sense.
He found it.
It made no sense. So again, here's the thing.
That warehouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
magical.
Here's the thing, right? So if he has, say if, right, with me right now, if he has alien technology, which is in some capacity possible in this universe,
yes,
right, that means people know about the previous invasion, right? Because the Utopian one, fair enough, that was erased from history, never happened, right?
Yeah.
The whole Matt Smith thing with the one son, no one remembers that, obviously. But the Dalek invasion still happened, right? The Daleks happened, the Cybermen happened. What else happened?
Slovene crashed into Big Ben. I can do this in chronological order. I've got all this logged in my head.
You see,
Loch
I was
Ness
like,
Monster, no one brings that up.
True. That is very true.
There was a giant robot.
If we're going to go off the US, the human pigs, they probably found all decayed in the sewers.
That's true. But not just that, Daleks. Straight up Daleks were
just everywhere.
Yeah, there were 2 Daleks. There were 2 Daleks and a human Dalek that were just killed and left in Manhattan.
Which honestly probably explains the US's tech boost in the 1970s.
Well, Torchwood. I think Torchwood originated in New York. So that's still not there. Let's see. There are random spontaneous bursts of weeping angels throughout time.
Oh, occasionally giant spiders.
Occasionally giant spiders. Yes, that's very true. Yep, Cybermen peek their head up occasionally. Sontarans, the entire Sontaran thing.
Oh
and
yeah, they're
Atmos.
always there.
This is literally something that can just be whittled through, and
the adipose.
It's annoying. The adipose, yeah, fat walking through the streets.
The Lazarus Project.
Yep. Big
Everyone
old
seems to
monster just
forget
running
their
through the streets.
immortality was just, oh, sorry, no, we're not producing this product anymore. Excuse me?
Mental. It's absolutely goddamn mental. I just like Daleks were in World War II for God's sake.
Like, canonically, in this timeline, yes, they were.
It's so goddamn stupid. Oh, you can go like not just the Daleks, but like the Army of Ghosts before they became Cybermen. They were there
Yeah.
for 2 months before the invasion happened. Not Missy and the Cybermen, where the dead were literally rising. I feel like
Yeah.
Earth would be traumatized from that shit. All of the planes in the world stopped for an episode. When I guess everything involved with the monks, technically everyone forgot about that. But yeah, like it's insanity. And that's not even
Okay.
including Children of Earth, Torchwood,
Yeah, so
Miracle
let
Day,
me
where
get
no one
right.
could
I'm going to
die.
jump back to what I was going to say, right? Just there quick before it leaves my brain, right? So we've
Yeah,
now established there is plenty of potential alien technology in this world, right?
yep,
Right. Obviously, Torchwood and Unit probably have a lot of it, and a lot of it, right? But how is it that? But this is basically something I've noticed with this one because previous companions after Tennant's era, so Maximus era and Capaldi's era, have
yeah,
acknowledged that there have obviously been invasions and occurrences in the past because this is public knowledge, right? Like, what's his
yeah.
name? The I forget the character's name. The guy who passed away a few months ago. I feel really bad for it. Uh, Wilfred. Wilfred.
Yeah, Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah, Bernie Cribbin, love him, right? His character, who's a normal guy, right? Here's an even better one. The people in Britain leave London every Christmas to the point the streets are literally empty on Christmas Eve because something always happens on Christmas in London, alien related.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
how
that
common it is, right? So why
like
is it so
literally it
hard
was
for these new
evacuated.
ones? Yeah, exactly. So why is it so hard for any new companions to think it's a fucking alien?
Like it gets worse. It gets so much worse. Like at this point, we're down to like characters just being stupid, right? So we're not at the universal scale of shit yet. This drops so fast. We're in for a journey. You and I. We are in for a journey. A journey on insane. Just the opening of the next episode. Just the opening of the next episode.
But yeah,
Oh my
that is
god.
probably the biggest issue I can say I've had with this one so far is every single normal person in this pretended like they have no like they I'm pretty sure it was Graham who was like, oh nah, it can't possibly be. Like he thinks aliens don't exist. Like he wasn't cowering a decade beforehand from a Dalek. Like,
I'm
come
I'm
on now.
the biggest I'm still in my mind like the characterizations are still the biggest issue because Ryan, Graham, Yaz, the three big companions of this episode all have a scene each where they are somewhat I would say somewhat characterized. Like we get the first beats of a character and after that they are reserved for praising the Doctor and becoming expository. They once again, I'm still forever pissed off about the DNA bombs. They find out that they've got bombs in their collarbones, and everyone's just like,
Fine with it.
"Yep." They say nothing. They say nothing. Ryan is more concerned about that. Ryan puts in as much concern about a DNA bomb as he does when the Doctor takes his phone. Those are the same tones. He doesn't like one of them
I'd
is he
argue the
could die
phone was
at
more
any second.
serious.
It's mental. It's absolutely mental because, like, goddamn, Yaz says nothing about this. At no point in the episode is she like, "I'm calling this in. I've had enough." Like that would be character. That would be character. Like that would
And
be in
again,
line.
anyone who wants to
Better than
complain, right? It's like anyone who's like, oh well, because I can't remember. Maybe she didn't have her walkie-talkie on her in the train, right? I
she
then
did.
argue. Okay, there we go then. But then, even if she didn't have it in the train, I'd argue, what about when she got back to the car? And
Yeah.
even then, I'd argue, how did she get the car onto train tracks?
But the thing is as well, like, from the scene when Grace calls Ryan and Yaz, from that point forward, we are watching the scene in real time. So they are
Like
still
I
off in the
said,
distance.
exactly. I knew you'd love that when I said it. It goes from sunny to dusk to dark in literal seconds.
Literal seconds, and somehow they managed to make it like, bear in mind that that Grace and Graham hopped on they walked back, got on a
Which
train. The train
which
was
was in 20
traveling
minutes. It was 20 minutes away. They even gave us a time frame.
20 minutes away, and it was done in 2 minutes. They were there literally, I wouldn't even say 2 minutes, like a minute and 30 seconds later, something like that. They were there insanely quick. Be careful, don't hop on, don't hop over here, because the tracks are live. So how did they get into the train? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, they could. They literally could have been about 25 miles away by that point.
Everyone panicking that they can't get off the train because the door doesn't work. Every single train on the goddamn windows, the glass is breakable in the event of a fire.
And
In the event
the doors in the UK all have an emergency handle that you can pull,
they do.
which breaks the latches on the door, so the door will come loose. Every single train has that. Every single one I've been on has that.
It's so mental. It's absolutely mental. Like, it starts out so I wouldn't say so promising. It starts out fine.
No, I'll be honest. The first 5 minutes, I was like, all right. Well, except for when he acted like a 5-year-old, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, and also how it got up in the tree. Well, like, okay, I'll rephrase it. The first 5 minutes of the Doctor, I thought were all right,
Yeah.
and it slowly just kind of tumbled as to I just went that she's just repeating everything we've just found out and trying to make the character sound smart by doing it.
It's straight up that. She makes a sonic screwdriver out of things in the garage.
I don't
I'm still
like
not
it.
over that.
I actually hate that
She
design.
makes a teleporter. She makes a teleporter truck a TARDIS in a garage.
I hate that. I hate that sonic screwdriver design. I actually just don't like it. I think it's awful. I hate the look
You know
of
what
it.
this means? The dude that was inside the garage has been hoarding alien technology.
Because here's the
And he's got the
there's no
strength to
way
pick
he
up an
did all
onion.
this with like a microwave.
That's true.
Ah, my back. Also, here's the thing. Why didn't he just report the fact he's like, right, I know because I've been tracking them that this alien comes here and kidnaps people. And if this were the previous seasons, whoever he reports that to, be it Unit, be it Torchwood, be it bloody the police, they'd probably take it seriously because of what usually happens in this universe. But I'm going to go with the point of, in this series, it looks like everyone seems to have forgotten what happened yesterday.
It's mad. I'm. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get so much worse. Like, the next episode, I think, is like bad for a lot of the same reasons why the first episode's bad. So we're not really evolving much. In terms of, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's one universal like coincidence that happens right at the start. They're in space. They're in space.
Again, I
I'm
do
not just talking
remember the what is it? I think it was from Matt Smith's run. He pointed out that it has like a field that's like 30 feet in diameter in every direction around it.
It's not the TARDIS. It's not the TARDIS. It's so much worse. It's so much worse.
They're in a snow globe.
That would be better. But yeah, like, from memory, Ghost Monument is just it's shit, but it's like the last bit of this, but made as the episode. Rosa is just pointless. I don't think Rosa does anything definitively bad. Like, it's none of the characters act weirdly. It's just that no one's got an input on anything other than racism bad, and that's it. Like, it's binary. It doesn't have any depth to it. We're gonna have fun with arachnids in the UK. Um, the Saranga conundrum is fucking awful as well. Demons of the Punjab, which there are people that hate this era, say, oh, it's actually one of the best episodes. It's fucking not. Objectively, it is actually one of the worst. Kablam, I've already shown clips of Kablam, so that's going to
Oh,
be a fun one as
that's
well.
that episode, is it?
Yeah.
Oh
I
God,
don't
it
remember.
happens in her first season.
Yeah. Oh, if you think that's bad, she gets her manslaughter on really early on in this.
Oh, well.
But yeah, and then we've got the Witchfinders, which I can't remember anything about, which is probably a good sign. It Takes You Away, which is horrendous. The Battle of Ranskoor, of something, which actually somehow destroys what little character Ryan and Graham has, and then that's it.
Well, I suppose that's my closing thoughts on it. Really, it was all right for an opener, but
I think
every other opener I saw was that's it. Comparatively wise, right? In my opinion, this is the weakest one I've seen. Like from Eccleston all the way to Jodie, this is the weakest one.
yeah, this is the equivalent of a Love and Monsters for me, right? Like I don't like it. I like things about it though. That like it, see, this is the thing. Like this episode came out, and bear in mind, like I didn't know what was going to happen, no idea where this was going to go, and I thought to myself at the time, yeah, okay, I'm intrigued with this. It's done nothing offensive. It felt like a boring Moffat era sort of thing.
That's very fair. The second half of the Daleks in World War Two.
Yes, it felt like it was
Like
contrived.
the first half was this really fun murder mystery kind of, but without the murder.
Yeah.
It was like a right, what's going on? What's happening? Why is this like this? The second half was like superior. I was normal Dalek story. Okay.
Yeah, it felt contrived, but I can't say that anything broke any characters enough. Like the Doctor is intact, right? She's not formed. She's not the Doctor, but that I think that there's not enough to go on to say that she's bad or she's good. She is just there.
Yeah,
And
she still feels like every other Doctor after their first episode has had like their full personality in gear, right? Like
yeah,
they've been there, if that makes sense. They are now the character. In this, it feels like that's it. I don't know anything about this person,
yeah.
except that they finally figured out their name.
I think the worst possible thing that this episode could do, and it's something that sort of gets built upon later on, is if you're new to the series, everything involving the character of the Doctor is more assumed rather than stated. Like, I mean, once again, that like when we get to arachnids in the UK, that like that the Doctor truly breaks down at that point. Like from that point forward, this is not the Doctor.
It's like a point I like about that is when you say it's like this doesn't feel like a point of like people know who the Doctor is. Every other modern Doctor, you've been able to jump into their series, even if like obviously Eccleston's the exception here because he was the first of the modern ones. Like you can jump into any of their series. You don't have to have watched the previous series to know this is the Doctor. This is who this character is. They've established it in the first episode, and then even if, like, say if you started on Matt Smith's first episode, right, and then all you do is you watch up to his last episode, and that is your Doctor Who. That's fine,
Yeah.
because you have an established character, a bunch of stories, most of which are pretty good. Some of them fall flat, but overall, you've had a good, solid story packed into a nice 3 seasons.
You
And
take
then
you take
Yeah, go
David
on.
Tennant's first. Sorry, you take David Tennant's first series as an example, right? School Reunion. School Reunion introduces Sarah Jane Smith for the first time. You don't need to watch the classic series to understand who she is and what
No,
she's
I
doing.
didn't.
It's
I
explained.
hadn't.
It's there. It's all there for you, but it's not done in like an expository way. It's done through Sarah Jane and Rose bickering with each other.
Yeah.
That's how it's done naturally.
And it's like you
Um,
immediately know how important K9 is to the Doctor, because up until now, the Doctor, whenever he meets someone who's usually kind of going, like David Tennant's Doctor anyway, is usually quite. He talks very much like he'll hold his letters when it's talking to people. The moment he sees K9, K9!
K9. Yes. Oh, do you want to know something fun about K9 at the moment chronologically?
Go on.
So, so at around the time, um, Moffat, stopped doing the show. Rusty Davis was still working on the Sarah Jane Adventures. Unfortunately, because the actress who played Sarah Jane passed away, um, that meant that they had to they
Change
had
things
to
up.
sort of. Yes, they sort of had to wrap it up, kind of. And the only way they could do that was for a video called Farewell Sarah Jane. Very good on YouTube. It was designed for YouTube, made by Rusty Davis. Wraps up a lot of the old companion stuff. Very good. The one thing is, though, because Chris Chibnall didn't want to have anything to do with Modern Who previously or with Classic Who previously, even Moffat gave Rusty Davis the benefit of the doubt, saying that he will get around to like addressing where certain bits and bobs are. So like Matt Smith meets Sarah Jane and Sarah Jane Adventures, stuff like that. K9's still in a black hole, and Chris Chibnall's just left him
What?
there.
Oh, he's done. Poor boy.
We have not gotten back to that whatsoever.
You know what I'm expecting with the new David Tennant run, and I am going to call it a run. The episodes is still a run.
It's 3 episodes. It counts as its thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What will absolutely break my heart is if because if this is David Tennant Doctor and he like gets his memories back, I'm gonna feel devastated now that Wilfred's dead.
Yeah. I have a pretty good idea what's happening just from my Classic Who knowledge.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I've rewatched a few things, and it hopefully means that if Neil Patrick Harris is playing the person who I think he's playing, there's going to be an old episode unearthed, like they've restored it, which I would absolutely love if that was the case.
That'd be fun.
Um, but yeah, future's looking bright. But for the time being, we've got another 9 episodes. 10 if you include the Christmas, the New Year special, the holiday special, um, of this series, and that's going to be a fun time. You're
That
gonna
will be.
love it.
Don't worry. The future parts will be in slightly bigger chunks. It's just my bad. I haven't slept in about 2 days.
It's all good. It's all good. I
Preparing
might what
myself for this, mentally shivering at night, unable to sleep, thinking of the horrors to come.
well. Yeah, I think what I'll do just to keep ourselves sane is that we'll record these in our time, like when and where we
Yeah,
can at our usual pace. But I will upload these in sort of like a weekly basis. I think.
yeah.
There we
That's
go. I'm gonna
fine with
put it
me.
on a Saturday as well. Actually, yeah. Fuck you, Chip, knowing your Sunday schedules. You get Doctor Who on Saturdays like you deserve. Um, but yeah, fun
Yeah,
times.
that's my summary of it. I thought it was an okay opener, but compared to every other opener I've seen, it falls flat.
Yeah. It's a mid episode with a lot of issues, but I don't think that any of the issues break anything other than once again the characters are idiots. It's not like it's breaking time and space. Besides from Ryan and Yaz's really quick travel, other than that, I can see a scenario where there are people that like this. I
Yeah. Also, the magical bus driver.
Yes, that was uh yeah, the more I think about this, the more it's going to hurt. Yeah, okay. Good stuff.
Hmm.
But